that needs to reflect the constitution. And that's why there is the need for that constitution to be reviewed. So in Nigeria, how does it work? A constitutional amendment must be proposed by a bill at the National Assembly, and after that, state houses of assembly must, approve of it. Then the presidential must assent to it, and that's how it becomes a law. So there is the development. There was this zonal hearing across the geopolitical zones of the country where processes and engagement were made to ensure that it becomes a success. But in this new constitution that is being reviewed, or what many wants to be reviewed in this new constitution, there are so many things that have been suggested to be reflective in the new constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So like I did say earlier, that the National Assembly is planning to transmit all of the reviews to State House of Assembly by December. So as announced by the Senate leader, Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, that the ongoing constitutional review announced plans to transmit the committee's reports to the 36 State House of Assembly by December 2025, adhering to the established timetable. So the transmission is a crucial step, which many have applauded, in the amendment process. And there are so many issues that are involved in this. Like I did say, number one is the state creation. State creation is one important issue, a very important issue at that. Another is the establishment of state policing. Another is the establishment of state policing, state creation. Then rotational presidency rotation. I'm trying to get hold of that report there that has all of those things listed. So as soon as I found it, I would gladly reel it out to us this morning. So all of this put together are some of the things that the Constitution hopes to review even as the efforts are ongoing. So what does this mean for Nigeria? That's the big question there. How do Nigerians tend to benefit? When issues of this such comes up, there have been other suggestions as to ways and manners at which we better the country. Many have called for a change of democracy, that there should be an African-centered democracy. Many have called for a change of constitution. Many have also called for a change of system. Probably the system of government should be changed. Many have also called for some other things like that. So this is one out of the many solutions being provided to, better the state and the status of Nigeria. All of this will be putting into question this morning, and a senior journalist will be helping me, or helping us to have an understanding of what this means and what Nigerians should hope to get from all of this process. Stay with us after this break. Bring in my guest and we begin the conversation.
It is another refreshing time and the outpouring power of God as Christ Apostolic Church, Grace of Mercy Prayer Mountain, Adamimogo, Jesus City, presents Sure Mercy of David, a yearly fasting and prayer program where God is set to heal the sick, deliver the poor, set the captives free, and save the lost. Sure Mercy of David comes up in the month of August, every Friday to Sunday, each week in the month of August 2025, as God will be using his anointed servant, Prophet Sam Olualo Baba Adamimogo, and many other great anointed men of God. Many spiritual singers will be ministering in song as well. Venue CAC, Grace of Mercy Prayer Mountain, Adamimogo, Jesus City, Elamija Village, Lekki Epe Expressway, Lagos State. For one-on-one counseling with Prophet Sam Olualo, register at JesusCityRadio.com. Sure Mercy of David. Don't miss it.
By those that we can be part of a conversation on our Facebook live streaming Adamimogo 107.7 FM Ido-Ekiti. I'll be glad to meet you there. And at some point, having this conversation is quite important as you are stakeholders in the development of the country across the board. So before we embarked on that break, I was saying that it is important that we have conversations around constitution review when you look at democracy as a system of government, it is that centers around the people. And in a given democracy, power lies with the people, as defined being the government of the people, for the people, and made by the people and for the people. So, part of the things that must be ensured to see that democracy is really for the people is this review of the constitution, which is applicable not just to Nigeria but to every country that is under the democracy rule, which is a tool through which the people, wields the power. And like I did say, that effort had been made by the National Assembly in collaboration with the state houses of assemblies. And there are key issues which this current process aims to achieve and see improvement on, which are, number one is the devolution of powers. Devolution of powers is one major concern that every citizen has suggested, or so many citizens have suggested. That's one. On the other hand, we have local government autonomy. You'd recall that at some point the federal government seemed to be making serious efforts as to ensure that local government really gets their financial and political autonomy. And now, with the involvement of the Constitution, if it becomes a law, it will not be. There would probably not be a reason for such not to be implemented. Then is the establishment of state policing, creation of more states, and these are all topical issues that centers around, the constitutional review. So, joining us this morning to have that conversation is a senior journalist who is experienced when we bring up issues of constitutional review, when we bring it up on board. He joins us virtually this morning, Mr. Babatunde Okeowo. Good morning and welcome to the follow-up.
Good morning. My name is
Babatope Okeowo, I beg your pardon. All right. Thank you so much for the correction. Now, having with your years of experience and with the way you've been following the political happenings in the country at this time, you would understand that at some point, many have called for a change of democracy, an African-centered democracy. Many have called for a change in the system of government. Many have also, constitutional review is one of the things that many have also suggested. And now that it is being processed in the National Assembly and the State Assembly, would you say that this is what Nigeria needs to do at this time, to ensure that better Nigeria we all hope for is realistic?
Well, let me start by saying that constitutional review is part of the responsibilities of the National Assembly. And to do that, there's nothing wrong in having constitutional review. But the point is that what are the clauses? What are those things that they want to put in the review and the constitution being reworked? Number one, many of them are demanding for additional states, which I think is not too good. And even the constitution itself was a product of the military. If you know, it was the military that actually wrote this constitution that we are using. And that is why some people, especially pro-democracy activists, are saying that this constitution will be dismantled and a constitution peopled by prominent Nigerians, people who can actually say they are representing Nigerians, should now make new constitution. There are a lot of many issues in this constitution that are contradictory, that are just being manipulative. So people are saying, let us get a new constitution. Unfortunately, the opportunity came in 2014 when the then president, Jonathan. President Jonathan set up a committee, and every part of the country was represented in that constitution and that 2014 confab. Unfortunately, he didn't have the guts to implement it. He didn't have the guts. So now, under one, since then, there have been different reviews of the constitution. Different reviews of the constitution. So, but for now, I think they want to start zonal conferences. So let us see what are the things they want to input into the constitution being worked. Then, if the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will have the political will to sign provisions into law. You know, it's a different thing to have a constitution that will be worked on by the National Assembly. It will be transmitted to the 36 states of the Federation. Yes, state assemblies for their ratification. So now, if that one is done, then we expect that the president will sign.
All right, okay. Land on your thought. I want you to land on your thought.
Yeah. You can go on.
All right. So this is not the first time that the process has been made. You just referenced that of Goodluck Jonathan, but many have also said that many have also questioned if this is going to be fully implemented. Do you see this to be a success, or do you see that there is a possibility of?
I've also raised the concern. I've also raised the concern that it will not be implemented. It will not see the light of the day. And I will tell you
why.
One example. In the southwest and south, our demand is for restructuring. Our demand is for state police. Our demand is for devolution of power. That the powers at the central are too enormous. So, will the president want to water down his power? Will it allow devolution of power that will make him not too powerful, like having the power of life and death? That is the president. That one will need president attention. Then let us look at the issue of resource control. Ondo State has bitumen. Ondo State has oil. In normal democracy, what's supposed to happen is for the states to pay taxes on those products to the federation account. But now, what do we have? Even at the back of your house, you have rocks. You can't break them because you need federal government assets to break the rock at the back of your house. So the powers at the central are too enormous, and there is nobody that is having that power leave it. So that's why I'm saying that if assuming without considering that all the states in the south agree to devolution of power to state police to restructuring, would the states in the north allow that? That's a question begging for answer. They don't have. Yes, they won't, because they know that maybe after the 4 years of president or 8 years of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it will be their turn. Is it in their own period that they want to whistle down the power of the president? So, this mutual suspicion had always made constitutional review a jamboree. If you see 1999 constitution with all the alterations, it has not actually reflected the desires of Nigerians. So that's my own thought about that.
Yes, sir. But the thing is, it's important and it's quite commendable that you've mentioned those two big issues: the devolution of power and state devolution of power from the center. But another issue is the area of local government autonomy and state policing. Many believe that there should not be much of controversy surrounding this, but it appears that we keep having that conversation over and over and over again. Many have said that it should be something that should be very easy to achieve, the local government autonomy and state policing. But then the controversy keeps getting up. What do you think is the problem around these two issues?
I will tell you one thing. Look at the issue of local government autonomy.
Yes.
The federal government went to Supreme Court and got a judgment. And what the implementation? As we speak, the local governments are still in the pockets of our governors because they control the state independent electoral commissions, and all those people that were elected in quotes, I don't want to use selected, where they are party members. In a state where PDP is, it is PDP. In states where we have APC, it is APC. In states where we have ABGA, it is ABGA. In states where we have NMPP, it is the same thing. Ditto for Labour Party. So what we have is the local government funds. So it gives them additional fund to do other things. So that's why I don't see that also seeing the light of the day. Because the governors, like you want to take feed the bottle away from their mouths. If you want to take feed the bottle from the mouth of a child, what would that child do? He or she will cry, isn't it? So the governors will not want autonomy for the local governments. Even look at the autonomy given to the lawmakers of the state assembly. They are free on the paper. Are they actually free? So that's the question. So this autonomy to local government will not work. The governors will not make sure that the local the House of Assemblies in their states reject the what do you call it, local government autonomy. That one is there. Even they don't even want autonomy because sometimes there are some states, there are some local governments that have population. Let us look at Ado, for instance. Ado Ekiti is enough of a state in other part of the world, but it's a local government. So now the same amount of money it will be given to, say, Ido, those local governments. So, and how many teachers are in those local governments? governments, small local governments, compared to the bigger local governments. So they know that if they have local government autonomy, many local governments would go back to that area in the era of zero allocation. Because when you remove salaries of health workers and staff of local government, there won't be anything to pay teachers. So that's the problem. So even the local government workers themselves just mouth local government autonomy. They don't really like local government autonomy because it will deprive them of something. That is number one. Then on state police,
yes,
everybody is complaining about insecurity. Insecurity. Now, many governors, for instance, in the southwest, we have Amotekun. What do they have in the south? So many people have been used to this centralized system of government that we have one single IGP giving instructions to all the 36 states and Abuja, even when himself is staying in Abuja. So everybody desire state police at least to check insecurity. But many people just mouth it. They don't really want it. Because if they want state police, they should have done that for long. Now, Amotekun have the Southwest Security Network, codename Amotekun, are in states of the Southwest. Which weapon are they using? Did they give them the power to use sophisticated weapons? They're just using these guns or weapons that they used to go to hunting expedition. So there are a lot of things that need to be done, but because of our work system, they won't allow it to see the light of the day.
All right, Mr. Akel, well, let's now take it further. When politicians want to go into public office, the mantra or the common thing that is being said among them is that it is for the interest of the people, it is for the interest of the people and for the interest of the people, which is one of the things that democracy stands for. But over the years, we've seen that the problem keeps persisting and there have been solutions suggested to those at the end of affairs. And one of the solutions is this one we are talking about, constitutional review. And you have highlighted some of the hindrances that may occur to actualize this. So the question is, why is it so unrealistic or unrealizable for politicians to respect public opinions, especially on governance and political issues and some other issues? Why is it so hard?
You see, if you wear the shoe, nowhere it pinches. There are a lot of things that people outside will think this is ideal. But those inside will know that this thing is not practicable. So sometimes just look at it and say, how do we go about this thing? So that's why you see sometimes the public opinion doesn't work with people in government because they know they have some information that we who are outside don't have. So if you don't have those information, those people and those information sometimes are classified. They are classified information that if we release this one outside, it can set the state or the country on fire. So they, instead of saying that, they will say it. They will just say that people are crying, clamoring for something, do this, do that, but they will not be able to do it because of information available to them. Let me just give you one. People of the Southeast have been clamoring for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, who was extradited to Nigeria sometimes ago. Even when there was court judgment But the government knows that if this man is released, it's a security threat. So they won't say that, but they will hide under one excuse or the other. We have appealed, we have done this, and they will be delaying the trial. So that is does it. So there are a lot of information available to those in government that people outside the government will not know unless you are in that place. So that's why sometimes they don't listen to whatever from protest or agitation or public.
All right, now let's take it further. The Nigerian problem, many have said it is quite enormous, and many have attributed it to several factors. Many would say that one is the leaders. Many would say that second is the system. Another would say that is the law that governs the country. So, which would you say is one of the things why Nigerian problems keep reoccurring? Is it the leader? Is it the system? Is it the law that governs the country? Which one would you say is the problem?
I will tell you it's a combination of all. For instance, we're talking about the system. The Nigerian system is worked. And you know it. Nigerians know that our system is worked. Why is it that it is the president that will nominate the chairman
of INEC?
Why is it that it is the president that will nominate the CJ of the Federation? Why is it that we have too many powers concentrated in the hands of one man? Why? So our system, that's why everybody is saying this our system must be rejigged to reflect the realities of Nigerian system. Now let us look at the area of the law. We have said it severally. When we have even said it in the course of our discussion that the laws that are being implemented is foisted on us by the military. And there are a lot of reasons why this law must be reworked to reflect the desires of Nigerians. But those people there are not actually thinking without our law. And it is law that governs the society. With the worked law, there's nothing anybody can do. Then, back to you of leadership. It's
Alright, we seem to have some network issue there, but we'll try. Hello, sir, go ahead, we can hear you.
Yeah. The leadership comes from from the followership. Now we have a system in Nigeria that once you declare to run for an office, people have turned your house to ATM. They'll be going there to ask for money. Somebody's parents had died 20 years ago. Now remember they want to do celebration of their late parents. Somebody whose wife is not pregnant come to you to ask you for money delivery of his or her baby. So, and we have many people that now they see politics as a way of life. They don't want to work again. You see somebody graduating today, and you ask him, what is your job? He says he's a politician. Is politics a job? So, and these are the people we call leaders of tomorrow. Look at what our student union government elections have turned to, both at the national and at the state level. So, the recruitment to leadership position in Nigeria is up to works. So when you look at, you combine all these factors together, you discover that you cannot say one single, I don't believe one constitutive factor. I believe there are combination of factors that are responsible for the way things are in Nigeria.
All right. Now let's look at when we talk about suggestions or ideas that will better Nigeria, especially under democracy. There are so many stakeholders involved. Apart from the government and the people, we have the media and some civil society organizations. But my question is now focused on the media. As a senior journalist and one who has had many years of experience on the job, would you say that or how would you describe the role of media or the role of the press in holding political elite accountable, especially since the inception of democracy?
Well, we have done our bits, or our bits may not be too, may not be enough. But if you see a lot of things that are happening, you know that if not for the press, by now people would have been killed in their house without anybody raising an eyebrow. It is because we still have independent media that are putting the people in offices, public office holders, on their toes. That is why you still see them behaving. And with the advent of this new media, people are now conscious of their behaviors. So it is good that democracy, it is right that democracy thrives where there is freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of religion, and what have you. But all this freedom can only started with the use of the media. Without media, if somebody is even his right is deprived him, nobody will fight for him. Look at this issue of the boy in Futa.
The Jam boy.
Jam. Yes. Somebody was suggesting that to go to court. I said, yes, good, goes to court. But when would the case be determined? Even if you are arguing the case for him, pro bono, when will the case be determined in Nigerian court that you can, if you still go to, if you do it in trial court, it goes to appeal and down to Supreme Court. So when? So it's better the way the people cried and the CSO came out and we did everything. Now the guy's right has been restored. So without media, democracy cannot thrive. Freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of religion cannot thrive. So Nigerian media, we are fantastic.
All right.
Although there is still much to be done. There's no society without bad eggs.
All right.
So we have some bad eggs, but many, if in a situation where we have 80% of people good, then you can't say it's altogether bad.
Good, but I would also like to take you on some other areas or on some other issues, especially with the government in terms of governance and some other things that they've been doing so far. But I'd like for you to wrap up on this constitutional review. Do you think that Nigerians should be hopeful that anything positive, though you've made your stance, but what are the chances? What should Nigerians expect going forward? And from themselves, from the government, and from all stakeholders involved?
Let me just say that there are two. One way is to argue frontally and not achieve at any point. But there are, the other angle is, let us look at which area is contentious, which area is common to all of us. So the area that is common to us, let us agree and reward it. then the contentious area will be handling it one by one. So with that, things will be better.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Okel. Well, now let's go into other areas. You've been following political events in the country in the past few months. When you look at some of the political happenings since the days of defections from one political party to another political party, and the idea, according to this politician, is that the people are not properly served in that political party which they belong, and now there's a need for them to be in another house. And that has also been the narrative coming from the newly birthed ADC, the coalition movement, which has adopted ADC. And the argument is that the people, the people, the people, the people are angry, the people are hungry. Do you think this idea is what it is, according to these politicians who are claiming that the people are angry, the people are hungry, or it is based on personal interest as suggested by some other concerned Nigerians?
In Nigeria political system, it's not about the people. It's about their personal interests. Because let me just give you an example of Delta State Governor. Delta State Governor was elected under the platform of PDP. Now that he has jumped to APC, has that increased the allocation to the state from the financial account? Ditto for his colleague in Akwa Ibom. So they are not serving the people; they are serving their personal interests. It's legitimate to have an interest, but when they were seeking offices, they were not talking about their personal interests. They were talking about the interest of the people. So that's why you see sometimes when they get into offices and jump parties, the following election they lose. We've seen that example in many states of the federation. In Zamfara, is it Zamfara? The man was elected under PDP. He jumped to APC and he contested and he lost. So that you jump from one political party to another doesn't guarantee you a support. What it does is give you leverage while you are still with them. They use you, after that they dump you. So that is it. I don't see defection as something that is anything to write home about. People defect, no problem. They've been defecting since the First Republic. So, but what is the outcome? As for these people, have the people they claim to be serving, have they benefited anything? I don't think so.
But ADC is saying the people are angry and the people are hungry. When you look at those who are forming that coalition, their mandate now appears to be the people are hungry, the people are angry, and they want to make the people to be unangry and unhungry.
What differentiates ADC from APC? What differentiates PDP from ADC and vice versa? In 2015 or 2014, running to 2015, what were the APC guys saying? They were saying, we need change. We need to change the narrative. Things were bad. This, like that, like that. Now, what has happened since 2015 when they came into office? Have things not gone down? The same thing will happen if ADC gets to government. What will change? Will they bring back the fuel subsidy? Will they change will they allow what do you call it? Devolution of power? Will the president that emerges, will he want to remove his own power and allow other people to take over. No. So in Nigeria, there's no, I've said this severally, there's no political ideology. It is just the stars to grab power. APC did it when it wanted to grab power from PDP. Now APC is doing it when it wants to grab power from
APC.
Whether they will succeed or not is a different game. But there is something sing-song that must resonate into the mind of the people. That is, people are angry, people are hungry. People have already been hungry since time immemorial now. People have been angry since time immemorial. Has it changed anything? So it is not for government, human government, to solve our own problem, but they can just alleviate the suffering of the people. Now the value of Naira is at lowest ebb. What can they do differently? So that are things that we need to talk about. But because of the time, it's not something that we can complete on the life of a program. Yeah. But what is point is that in Nigeria there is no political ideology. No political ideology. And that's why you see somebody sleeping as a PDP member, waking up as APC, or sleeping as a APC member, waking up as APC. So there's no political ideology in Nigeria, unlike that of UK, where we have Labour and Conservative, or US, where we have Republican and Democrat. It's not in Nigeria.
All right, now let me ask you, the government of the day, have they served the people well? Have they really done well for democracy? When you look at democracy being the government of the people, by the people, and for the people, have they really done their path?
I won't judge, and I will tell you the reason why I won't judge them. The people who voted in offices, to people in Nigeria, for people who vote in Nigeria, don't vote based on performance. They vote based on sentiment. Are you getting my point?
Yes, I get.
For instance, if somebody is of my faith, I will want to vote for him. If somebody is from my tribe or my clan, I want to vote for him. So, if somebody is from my political party, assuming I'm a member of a political party, I want to vote for him, even if I know he won't do better. So when you look at these issues, that will make you to say these people have served us well or have not served us. But the question I will ask is, in 2023 or 2020, yes, we are in 2025 now. In 2023, how much did we buy liter of fuel? How much was dollar to naira? The cost of food, how much was it? How much is it now? So people on their own will determine whether they want to continue this way or they want another narrative. But it is not for me as a reporter to say I don't want to be judgmental.
I understand. I think we need to wrap up now because of our time. I really must appreciate you for your time on this show. Despite the short notice, you were able to oblige to us, and we really appreciate you. Our guest this morning has been talking to us on the development so far. What are the benefits and what are the things that we need to consider or hope for, even as the constitutional review is under process? He's a senior journalist and Mr. Babatunde Okeowo. Thank you so much for your time on the show this morning.
I said I'm Babatunde Okeowo.
Apologies. I keep making that mistake. Mr. Babatope Okeowo. I will never make that mistake again.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time again.
You're welcome, my brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that has been the conversation so far. What is it for Nigerians that we've examined it both front, at the back, and the middle, and the center. from the angle of a neutral person who is a journalist, and he has said that these are some of the issues involved. The realization of the constitutional review is, quite questionable when you look at some of the things that are required or the key requirements in that constitution or in that process. 0704 700 7701 or 07072 So let me put it to you this morning. Would you say that reviewing the constitution and changing or making amendments, altering some part of the constitution will solve the Nigerian problem? Or what would you say is the way to go? We've heard from our guest, and he has explained to us some of the things that we need to look forward to and consider. But would you say that this constitutional review coming at this time, where even though there have been agitations and there have been suggestions and ideas put forward to the government, would you say it is high time we have it? And are you optimistic that this is going to be realistic? Now, the key issues again, lest we forget, is the devolution of power. Main powers should be centralized, and there shouldn't be more power at the center. Local government autonomy. Local government should be given the chance to, spend their money by themselves and do some other things without being without having to do with the state government. Then state creation, addition of states. We have 36 already, and there is this call for additional states to be created, and the establishment of state policing, which is one of the major suggestions to solve the issue of insecurity in the country. And I guess that's where we need to draw the curtain on this morning's edition of the show. The follow-up on Adamimogo 107.7 FM Mido Ekiti. Till next week when another beautiful edition will return. All right. I think there is this call coming. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Journalists in Nigeria reacted as the people in Nigeria developed without communication. How do the government will likely to change? When there is ADC now, people are rushing to it. And people are talking of Nigeria are wallowing in abject poverty, paying every day. The only threat I'm having to the president, if they review the constitution, can he have reflection on Nigeria's citizens? Our leader have a lot to learn from Mandela, from his illness to death, and it was treated in South Africa. It means institutions are working there. Our leader should learn to live within national means and no more. Since these people, the people contested for the president, I'm advising our president to call these people and give them some portfolio and have thinking together. How can we move Nigeria forward? This man is trying to reveal the secrets of somebody that looted NMPCL 210 trillion, 900 and something billion. So somebody built houses of 765 in Abuja, only a person. It's time to reveal. But can we try to settle the Nigeria matter? Can all Nigeria come out of poverty? So politics in Nigeria is very good, as people are rushing to ADC now. But they need to advise the president and communicate the GMO.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution there. Apologies, we need to go now. Until next week,